Welcome to Class 5 of Project Job Search, Building Your Toolkit Online Presence. In our last 4 classes, you created all the tools you'll need to use in your search. Now, let's make sure your online presence will support your search and won't work against you in any way. Social media has become a great way to connect with people in both our personal and professional lives, and it becomes indispensable when we are in job search mode. You are at a huge disadvantage if you try to find a job without going online these days. But to do it right, you need to know which things to post on where, how your time and energy are best spent, and the pitfalls to look out for. New networking sites pop up all the time, but here we'll focus on the big 3: LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. These sites are where the majority of recruiters and human resources departments spend their time to research, vet, and contact candidates, so they are where you should be spending the most time as well. It's also important to understand the different ways recruiters use these sites. On LinkedIn, they mostly search for, review, and contact candidates, while they primarily use Facebook to showcase corporate brands, post jobs, and vet candidates, and Twitter to showcase brands and post jobs. Knowing this, you can allocate your time and focus to exploit the strengths of each of these big 3 sites. Your first priority is LinkedIn. We recommend that you get your LinkedIn profile perfected before moving on to Facebook and Twitter. Until the next big thing comes along, this is the most bang for your buck during job transition. Since it launched in 2003, LinkedIn has become the gold standard for online business networking. Just about every recruiter out there uses it to research candidates, yet only about a third of job seekers actively use the site, which is surprising because the importance of being on LinkedIn these days really can't be overstated. It's a career must-do, especially for those in job-seeking mode. To use LinkedIn to its full potential, you first need to max out your profile. At its most basic, your LinkedIn profile is information from your resume plus a headshot. But it can and should be much more than that. Once you max it out, you'll have an amped-up, visually engaging representation of you, your skills, experience, and expertise. Take a look at the profile strength indicator that LinkedIn provides. This tells you how competitive your profile will be in showing up in search results. The highest level of completion is All-Star, and this should be your goal, because anything less than All-Star status will hurt you in search results, causing it to appear lower as status level descends. So let's go through the essential parts of your LinkedIn profile. Once you address all of these sections, you should either achieve All-Star status or be well on your way to doing so. Log into your profile and go to Edit Profile. For each section, hover over the gray heading to add or edit information. One of the great things about a LinkedIn profile versus a resume is that it can be so much more interesting to look at. Not posting a headshot puts you at a huge disadvantage. A generic placeholder image equals a generic candidate, which could put you out of the running for that new job. In fact, your profile is 11 times more likely to be viewed if you include a profile picture. So, before you do anything else, get this photo taken and uploaded. It should be a recent shot of the best professional version of you, cropped in close enough that your face is clearly visible. Don't use casual shots from parties, vacations, or family gatherings, and definitely no pet pics. These are great for showing your personality, but save them for Facebook. Photos shot outdoors generally look too casual for the business world, though they work well for some industries. So to be on the safe side, choose a well-lit indoor location with lots of global light, meaning light from all around, not just from one source, and a neutral background, preferably white or light-colored for maximum contrast. Wear professional clothes, appropriate to your industry, and choose a photo where your expression fits your job and audience. You will find all these guidelines and tips in the Quick Start Guide. Name is pretty self-explanatory, but do make sure you use your full name, not a nickname that might come across as overly familiar or casual. For your professional headline, you've got 120 characters to identify yourself professionally. Your headline should be more than just your job title. This is a top-of-the-page, in-your-face opportunity to capture someone's attention. This should say what you do and what type of company you do it for in a catchy way. A good place to start is your power line, then edit it down to fit 120 characters. LinkedIn includes blank spaces and punctuation in character counts. To determine character count, paste your text into lettercount.com or Microsoft Word, then alter until it fits. The current position and previous position sections are simply a list of current and former job titles. These are automatically pulled from what you enter in the experience section, which we'll cover in a few minutes. If you want to edit what is shown here, you must do it in the experience section. LinkedIn will assign you a profile URL that you can share to help people find you quickly. This default URL is probably an unwieldy string of symbols, letters, and numbers, but you can change it to something easier to work with, most likely your name, with some addition of middle initial or metro area if your first and last name combo is already taken. Go to Edit Profile, Edit Contact Info to make this quick change. One of the main things recruiters use LinkedIn for is contacting candidates, so be sure your contact information is correct. Provide an email address you check every day, plus your phone number, and/or an instant messaging address, whatever is the best way to reach you. You can also add your Twitter ID, WeChat ID, personal website, blog, or portfolio URL. A background image runs horizontally behind your name and headshot. It's not critical, but adding something here is another way to add visual interests. If you do put something here, it should relate to your industry or personal experience in some way that supports your professional identity. For example, a grounds manager might choose an image of a perfectly groomed golf course, or an interior designer might choose an array of fabrics. Below the main profile area, you'll see the horizontal bar that says View More. This is where you can add any experience or skill that falls outside of your current or previous positions. Things like additional languages, honors and awards, patents, and much more can be added here. If you've got something that adds to your story in a positive way, definitely include it. Your summary is where you can really sell yourself. It's an opportunity to express your voice and personality. Compared with your resume summary, your LinkedIn summary can be longer and should include the section on specialties. When listing experience, be sure to include the industry a company is in, or you will be left out of some search results. Under each position you add, you will see links to upload various types of media, including documents, photos, web links, videos, and presentations. Take full advantage of this feature, which many shy away from. You're looking for anything that can set you apart from other candidates, so it's well worth your effort. Profiles that list skills are 13 times more likely to be viewed. Choose up to 50 skills and make sure there are things you want to continue doing. Gathering endorsements will help your LinkedIn ranking and will help your name appear higher in the search results. To get your endorsement count higher, endorse your contacts for the things they are best at. Most likely, they'll return the favor. Likewise, when someone endorses you for a skill, be sure to endorse them as well. Get 1 to 2 recommendations from each job you list. These recommendations should be from supervisors, not coworkers. When requesting a recommendation from someone, help them help you by including suggestions for the specific things you feel you did best. List your most important education here. While you might be tempted to leave off dates if you're not fresh out of school, the internet makes it an easy thing to figure out, so you might as well include them. You're allowed to join up to 50 groups, so join some related to your field as well as your personal interests. Once you join relevant groups, stay active on their forums by liking or sharing an article, participating in a discussion, or publishing a post. One nice perk of being a group member is that you are allowed to contact other members without being personally linked in with them. Keeping your profile fresh by posting updates regularly. Once you've got an active profile, if you go to Home while logged in, just under your photo, LinkedIn gives you three options: share an update, upload a photo, or publish a post. The first two choices are essentially two different ways to post the same thing, which is a 140-character comment plus an image. Publish a post is for longer content, like a blog post or article you've written, and can be enhanced with a header photo. Put a recurring reminder in your calendar to update your status once or twice a week, in one of these three ways to show you're active, interested, and engaged. It could be a link to a good article, a comment on a buzzworthy industry book you're reading, or, if you have something more in-depth to share, use the Publish a Post option. While you're there to update your status, drop a comment or two on posts on others to keep your name in play and your profile active. Your connections are really what LinkedIn is all about, so aim high and collect connections like they're gold. When you need to get the inside edge for a job opportunity, the bigger your connection list, the more likely you are to be 1 or 2 degrees of separation from someone who can help you. On the other side of the equation, accept almost all connection requests. While it's probably a good idea to limit who you friend on Facebook, for a professional networking site like LinkedIn, you should take a more welcoming approach, except for the obviously questionable ones. You never know who will have the key connection that helps you secure your next job. The standard free LinkedIn account is fairly robust and gives most job seekers all the tools they need without having to upgrade to a paid account. You get a free place to showcase your professional identity and experience, build your professional network, a place to request and provide recommendations, join groups of people with similar interests, keep tabs on companies you're interested in, view profiles of other LinkedIn members, and communicate with those you're connected to. For most people, this will be robust enough to see them through their job search. However, if you are curious about how you rank against other applicants for a job, which keywords are leading people to find you, or how you rank compared to your peers, a temporary upgrade might be worth the expense. A premium account also gives you a lot of information on job leads, providing the name and link to the job poster, the number of applicants so far, and stats on how you rank compared to other applicants, which can be very helpful and give you the edge over candidates with the free membership. In addition to the above, you'll be able to contact anyone on LinkedIn, regardless of whether or not you're connected to them. There are more perks, but these are the most important ones for job seekers. Remember that when you are being considered for a job, your LinkedIn profile is probably the first thing recruiters or HR will look at. With that in mind, everything in your profile should reflect the content of your powerline, positioning statement, and resume without copying them word for word. Support this message with visual evidence through uploaded media, and get the message out by building your LinkedIn network, and finally, keep it out there by participating regularly. So be sure to keep your profile polished and up to date, and stay active with updates to move your profile towards the top of search results whenever possible. After LinkedIn comes Facebook. While Facebook doesn't necessarily need to be set up to support your job search, it should definitely be edited to remove anything that might destroy the good work you've done elsewhere. This is a great place to show off your interests and personality, and can be a big plus when potential employers see evidence of a good culture fit. Before you start applying for jobs, make sure your Facebook account is set to private, so that only approved friends can see your posts. If you choose not to do this, be sure to delete photos or comments that could be taken in the wrong way by someone who does not know you well. On social media, the main things that tend to sideline candidates are complaints about previous jobs and employers, drug references, posts of a sexual nature, spelling and grammar mistakes, gun references, and profanity. Save soul-bearing confessions for face-to-face interactions. Once you're happy with your Facebook profile, you can also use the site to vet companies you're considering to see how they come across and if they have the right culture for you, and keep an eye out for job postings. Last but not least is Twitter. Since Twitter doesn't offer the option to keep your profile private, go through past tweets and read them from a point of view of a hiring manager who might not share your political or religious points of view, or might not have the same sense of humor you do. If you're out there on any social media platforms, and most of us are, you must stay aware of how you're being represented. From time to time, do a thorough check to make sure you're projecting the image you want to project. Do a Google search on your name and review the first few pages of results, making sure no old photos are popping up that you wouldn't want to be seen by a prospective employer. If you find questionable content about you that is beyond your immediate control, take the appropriate measures to have it removed by hiring an online reputation management service such as Reputation.com. Are there exceptions to these big three? Sure. Some industries have more specialized networking sites that might be a good addition to or in lieu of the three listed above. For example, in the beauty business, YouTube and Instagram are huge. Pinterest is big for home decor and crafting, and Twitter is big for PR, marketing, entertainment, and hospitality. But for the majority of us, using the big three in the right way will create the online presence needed to land the next job. So aside from technical guidelines, which we provide in more detail in the downloadable Quick Start Guide, the main takeaway here is that much like a job interview, with social media you should show up and be yourself, but make sure it's your best self. Show off your personality, your lifestyle, and your interests, but do so with the awareness that there is no such thing as privacy on the internet. Before moving on to the next class, you should try to complete the steps on the Quick Start Guide. In Class 6, we'll get started on your action plan and talk about getting into a good daily groove and building a network.